Ronnie Gillis, he's the owner of the winery, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about how they make the wine from, especially from this one, it's the oak leaf tree.
We just pick the leaves, fresh leaves off the trees like this. We make a spring oak leaf wine just when the leaves are fully grown. We use oak leaves in a combination with gooseberries and other fruits. But it starts off with picking the fresh leaves off the trees into buckets, into bags, half fill a tank with oak leaves and pour boiling water over it, and we make a strong oak leaf tea, and that gives it a nice tannic background, and we let it brew overnight, and then the next day we take the tea off, blend it with the sugar and other fruits, and ferment it with a grape wine yeast, and just let it ferment away. It takes about 3 weeks, and that's our wines. That's our white wines. Oh, lovely. Need a lot more than that, but it's a start. They're easy to pick. Gives it a nice tannic background.
So Ronnie, this the brambles. Can you also make a wine from these? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, these wild ones are beauties. I mean, we've been making bramble wine from the start. Originally, it was just the wild ones, like, you know, you couldn't get commercial fruit. They didn't have the flavour of these ones. I mean, and it's been a great season, the best season I've seen for many years for wild brambles, and you're seeing people out picking them again. It's good.
Yeah.
But it's a great berry, isn't it? It's got a flavour of its own.
Yeah, it's a great flavour.
What would you do with them?
So I've actually had them on the menu this week with some grouse, and I also had them on with a pheasant mousse. So I'd like serving them with game. We also had the previous weeks we've had them on with some chocolate desserts. Yeah, really good.
Good, like. What time is it?
Tea time. So this is one of the snacks that we have. We forage the pine needles, we dehydrate them in the dehydrator, and then blend them to a fine powder, and make a salt with them. So I mix them with some salt. And with these crisps here, what we do is with the leftover bread dough that we have every day, when we make the bread, we roll the bread dough out in a pasta machine, so it's really fine. Put them in the freezer just to get really firm, and then we cut them into little triangles and then deep fry them. When they come out, we just season them with the pine salt, and we serve them on the table with a little dip. And we change the dip often, but this one is made with it's a chive and mushroom and set dip. So what we do with that is it's got some egg white, some yogurt, chive oil, and you blend that together with a stick blender. It kind of goes really smooth and creamy, nice bright green colour. And then on top of that, I've just grated some raw mushroom and sprinkled some more of the pine powder on top, and some set powder. And that's one of our snacks here. The dish we're going to do is a dessert made from oak leaves and brambles, some elderberries, and I'm going to make a jelly with the oak leaves. I'm going to make a tea from it first of all, mix it with some of the oak wine from Care No More, but the autumn one, and I'm going to add some sugar to it to sweeten it slightly, and then set it with agar-agar, which is a seaweed, which is a setting agent. Okay, so the first part of this dish, I've made a tea from the oak leaves. It's just basically 50% leaves to double the amount of water. So all I did was pack some leaves into this container, boiled some water, poured it over the top, and then left it overnight. and it's made this nice tea. It's a new ingredient to me. For this one, I've just made the tea, so all I'm going to add to the pan is 200 ml of the tea, 200 ml of the oak leaf wine, it's 80 grams of sugar, and then when using agar, you can buy it in the supermarkets now as well. It is 0.9 grams to 100 ml to set it to quite a firm jelly. So I've gone for 0.7 grams to the 100. So you just add that in when it's cold. Bring it to the boil, and you just want to boil that for 3 minutes. That activates the seaweed. So once it's give it a whisk at the start just to incorporate the sugar and the agar. And once it's incorporated, just let it come to the boil and boil it for 3 minutes. It's very, very simple. It's a really, really easy recipe. Okay, so once the jelly is set, I've cut it. You can see how easily it cuts. It sets quite firm. Some of the nice brambles. Cooked some of the elderberries and brambles down with some sugar, make like a jam. For a bit of texture here, I've made just a sponge cake and dried it out, just to give a bit of crunchy texture. So with a homemade vanilla ice cream. You can buy it, you don't have to make it. I made a dehydrated meringue with just a basic meringue recipe with egg whites and sugar. Spread out the meringue in thin sheets, and I sprinkled on top some sorrel and dehydrate them until they're crunchy, dehydrated. It acts as a nice little garnish. And just oak leaf jelly with brambles, elderberries and dehydrated meringues and vanilla ice cream. Enjoy.